Okay, so I just started a new painting. Well, it's not a painting yet, but a canvas. I have sketched it out, and here it is. It's an octopus. I'm super excited about this one because I have a really cool idea, and I kind of can't wait to show it to you. And I just think it's just a really cool sketch. And we've got my studio assistant down here, who always needs the belly rubs. Yeah. Boop. The next layer, I think I'm gonna add like some flowy ink just to kind of stain the wood and get a background in, and then I'll probably switch to painting the octopus in more realistically with acrylics. Okay, as you can see, I have made some progress that I failed to film for you. I was just gonna put on a little bit of a layer of ink to kind of stain him red. And then I added another layer, and then I got kind of fun with mixed media and then realized I didn't film any of it, so sorry. But now at this point, I'm still kind of deciding where I want to go with it. Here's some of the inks that I was using, as well as these Lumiere metallic acrylics. At this point, my dilemma is that when I'm painting realistically, I prefer to use oil paints. I love working in oils, I love how they blend, but I have a fun idea for this one. I want to use acrylic paints for the last technique that I'm gonna do. As you know, you can't put acrylics over top of oils, which means I cannot do oils on him right now. I have to use acrylics. But I prefer painting with oils, so that's my dilemma. So I think instead of trying to paint so realistically with acrylics, which I know I would struggle with because I'm used to oils, I'm doing him more mixed media-y. So I've done the acrylic inks, and I have been also using some markers. I've got a white Posca as well as a Molotow acrylic marker. And then I was also using these China markers. Really love this one from Tombow because you don't have to tear off the paper, you can just screw it. So I think what I'm gonna do now is use some of Tombow's dual brush pens to do a little more details like shading, just getting some more color details in there, and just using markers instead of acrylic paints. I've never really used these on wood, so we'll see how they go. And then of course I'll have to spray it with a fixative after this layer because these are water-based. So I'm actually using piping bags this time, and I have never painted with piping bags. My sister's actually a cake decorator, so this should be interesting. We'll see how I do. I really have no idea what I'm doing, but I added some of this light magenta, which is the same color I'd put here. And I just kind of added it like to the sides of the bag. I don't know if you can see it. It's just randomly in the bag. And then I'm gonna take this iridescent 3D paint from Gaffery and fill the rest of the bag with it. My sister would be judging me so much right now. Ah, we did it. Okay, I've been doing a few little practice tests on my paint palette and just creating these little stars and seeing how I can make his tentacles. And I think this is gonna work. I think it actually needs a little more refinement. They're not tentacle-y enough, so I think I'm gonna try that again. Okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. I like these. Those are a little messy, but I'm trying, okay? I filled up a second piping bag that is just iridescent white. So I want to add some variety to his little tentacles. So I'm just gonna squeeze that down and twist. Yep, we're gonna try that. Okay, it's not done, but I think I'm done with the acrylic layer, and I'm going to move into some oils next to kind of refine it. So I did all the piping with his tentacles, and then I decided that his arms, his tentacles needed more depth as well, so I went back in and I added the depth to his arms, and then I kind of like gradually made it flat because I didn't want his head to stand out, just all of his arms. So now I'm going to go in with oils and just add some variations in color here because I prefer oils than acrylic. So now that the acrylic stage is all dry, it's oil time. Okay, it's a new day. Octopus painting is done. I'm super excited to show it to you. So I learned a lot with this painting, this paint, and just this technique. Here it is. It's got a lot of texture. I'm gonna have to take a video out in the sun too because I think the lighting right now just doesn't show like how metallic and how much depth there is. So I will, right after I'm done filming this, I'll take it out into the sunshine and film it there as well so that the light really captures how metallic it is. Can you see there's quite a bit of depth on there? One of the things that I learned is that it does shrink, so it's not as much depth as it was when I was first piping it on. It did shrink a little bit, not as much as you might think, but a little bit. It is noticeably a little bit thinner than when I piped it on. So something to take note of when I do it again, because I will, is make it even thicker when I put it on. That way it turns out amazing. I mean, I think it did, but that way for future reference. So after I did all the piping and I went back in and made his tentacles 3D, I let the acrylic paint dry, and then I went in with oil paints, which you watched it, but I went back in with oil paints and I just added more color and just variations in his arms and his tentacles. And I did a little bit of glazing on his eyes and head as well because it's flat. There's not really much texture there. So I just wanted to add some visual texture with the shading and the glazing of the oil paints. So that's it for this guy. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my process, which I rarely paint and film the process. It just interrupts my whole flow, but I wanted to do it for this guy because he was a big experiment, just using a medium that I don't usually use, and yeah, I had fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it.